Have you ever stood in front of someone who was desperately trying to provoke you, screaming to get a rise out of you, and felt that burning urge to scream right back? It's a trap we've all fallen into. But what if I told you that the most deafening, terrifying noise you can make in that moment isn't a shout, but absolute silence? Welcome back to INVICTUS X. Today, we are not just talking about ignoring people. We are talking about a fundamental shift in power. We are exploring the ancient art of becoming a mirror, a surface so calm and reflective that toxic people become terrified of their own reflection. In a world that won't stop screaming, everyone wants the last word, but the ancient Stoics knew a secret that modern society has forgotten. The louder the person, the weaker the peace within them. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When you truly internalize this, the game changes. You stop being a pawn in their drama and become the player moving the pieces. Here is how you can deploy 7 silent behaviors that will make manipulators, narcissists, and toxic individuals fear your presence even when you haven't uttered a single word. Number 1. The art of the gray rock. Observe everything, react to nothing. The first silent behavior is the shift from participant to observer. Toxic people are essentially energy vampires. They do not seek truth or resolution, they crave reaction. They want the noise, the chaos, and the emotional explosion. It feeds them. When you choose to observe rather than react, you starve them. Imagine a tennis player swinging their racket with all their might, expecting the ball to come flying back. Instead, the ball vanishes into a black hole. They swing again, harder. Nothing comes back. Eventually, they exhaust themselves. This is what happens when you adopt the persona of the gray rock. You see their manipulation, their tone, and their bait, but you offer no emotional Velcro for it to stick to. Number 2. Strategic withdrawal. Don't argue, just exit. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic minds, famously said, "The best reply to anger is silence." But let's take this a step further into the modern world. Arguing with a toxic person is like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good your move is, the pigeon is just going to knock over the pieces, crap on the board, and strut around like it won. There is a classic story often associated with Eastern philosophy that aligns perfectly here. A man is rowing his boat upstream on a foggy morning. Suddenly, another boat crashes into his. He screams, "Watch where you're going, you idiot!" But as he looks closer, he sees the other boat is empty. It was just drifting. His anger instantly vanishes because there is no one to be angry at. Toxic people are empty boats, driven by the currents of their own trauma and insecurity. When you argue, you are screaming at an empty hull. By withdrawing, by physically or mentally removing yourself from the equation, you stop trying to steer their boat. 3. Distance over drama. The mountain perspective. Toxic individuals operate on proximity. They need to be close to you, emotionally or physically, to twist your reality. They need to whisper in your ear or stand in your personal space. Behavior number 3 is choosing distance, not out of fear, but out of clarity. Think of this like climbing a mountain. At the base, you are in the thick of the storm, pelted by rain and wind. You can't see anything but the chaos. But as you climb higher, creating distance, you eventually break through the cloud layer. Above the clouds, the sun is shining. You can look down and see the storm for what it really is, a small, contained disturbance. Number 4. Weaponized kindness. Remain kind when they deserve coldness. This is perhaps the most difficult behavior to master, but it is also the most disarming. When a toxic person attacks you, they expect and want you to mirror their aggression. They want to drag you down into the mud so they can say, "See,
They are just as crazy as I am. When you respond with calm, controlled kindness, you break the script. Imagine a coworker, let's call him Mark, who tries to undermine you in a meeting. "I see you finally decided to join us mentally," he sneers. The expected reaction is a snappy comeback. Instead, you look him in the eye, smile genuinely, and say, "Thanks for the concern, Mark. I'm fully here. Let's get back to the project."
5. Let time be the judge. The long game. We live in an instant gratification society. Toxic people are impatient. They want instant results, instant control, and instant reactions. Behavior number 5 is understanding that time is the great revealer. You do not need to expose a manipulator. You do not need to launch a smear campaign to clear your name. Their own actions, repeated over time, will do the heavy lifting for you. Life has a way of balancing itself. The Stoics believed that justice isn't always a loud gavel banging in a courtroom. Often, it is the quiet, slow grind of reality catching up to delusion. Think of a builder who cuts corners. He might build a house faster than the honest builder. He might mock the honest builder for being slow. But give it 5 years, the cracks will show. The foundation will shift. You don't need to go over and kick his house down. Gravity and time will handle it.
6. Value peace more than approval, the ultimate shield. This is where true freedom begins. Most manipulation works through the mechanism of guilt. Toxic people are experts at making you feel wrong for choosing yourself. They weaponize your need to be nice or liked. Epictetus wrote, "If you want to be invincible, stop fighting for what isn't yours to control." The opinions of others are 100% outside of your control. The moment you value your own inner peace more than their approval, their weapon turns to dust. They might say, "You've changed," or "You're being selfish." In the past, this would have triggered an apology tour. Now, your silence simply says, "I have made peace with who I am." You stop explaining your boundaries. You stop apologizing for protecting your energy. When a toxic person realizes they can no longer guilt trip you, they are terrified. They are faced with a person who lives by internal principles, not external validation. You have cut the strings of the puppet master.
Number 7. Become a mystery. Let them wonder what changed. Finally, behavior number 7. You simply change. One day, the switch flips. No more reacting, no more oversharing, no more justifying. You become a mystery. Human beings are wired to fear the unknown. When a toxic person knows exactly which buttons to push to get a reaction, they feel safe and in control. When those buttons stop working, panic sets in. Why aren't they yelling back? Why don't they care about my criticism? What do they know that I don't? You haven't become cold, you've become sovereign. You have stopped belonging to their emotional ecosystem. This silence is the language of evolution. It signifies that you have outgrown the game. You don't need closure from them. You don't need them to understand your side. You have already won quietly. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of power. It is the shield that guards your peace and the mirror that reflects their weakness. As you go forward this week, I want you to try this. The next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, anchor yourself. Remember that you do not need to fight to win. You win by refusing to be controlled. You win when your silence speaks louder than their chaos. Which of these 7 silent behaviors is the hardest for you? Is it stopping the urge to explain yourself? Is it remaining kind in the face of disrespect? Drop a comment below and let us know. We read every single one because this community, INVICTUS X, is about building strength together. Share your story. Your habit might just inspire someone else to take back their power today. And remember,
The more you nurture your inner peace, the more your life becomes a reflection of true wisdom. Stay stoic, stay strong.